build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty.
Good morning, I'm Colin.
This is your Friday morning. Shortbangers.
Depends when you decide to put it, I suppose.
Well, Friday morning. It's when I'm comfort.
A Friday at some point in the future.
A Friday, yeah. 6 a.m. That's when I set them to go out. If you're one of the people that set your clock by it, it should land in your podcast player more or less on 6 a.m, but sometimes it takes a wee bit longer to refresh. Right. Straight into it, Colin. Tom Wallace, first question. Old age is the topic. And the question is, does it bother you when folks say however many years young? Mainly Michael Ball on Radio 2.
It does a wee bit. I'm never bothered about age. Like I think it was Heatbangers you were talking about it, and you spoke about, was it 30 or 40? 30, when you got 30, you felt that was a
30,
moment.
I was like, fuck's sake. Yeah.
I never really bothered me. Like going to 30, I'm totally oblivious to all this mental health stuff. Like I just can't. Like I just feel like maybe I should worry about stuff more often. Like
don't.
Like that. But that annoys me. It was women that started that. Like 21 again and all that shit as well. You know what I mean? Just like fuck off. Like it doesn't annoy me. I didn't stop anybody saying it. I think I've ever said it myself, and I apologise to anybody that I've ever have said it to, because I never meant it, and I plan never to ever say it.
Aye, but there's a point where it gets ridiculous. If you say like, "Oh, here's Colin, he's 74 years young," everybody's going, "Oh, you're going a 74-year-old. Just get that right. That is old. Like it's all right to say it's old."
Yeah.
It's not something I've ever really kind of noticed that much, to be fair.
No, it's not. It's not loads, but it does happen.
Right.
And obviously he knows I'm a fucking moan, so he's probably listening because he'll hate everything.
Tom Wallace against hashtag is the topic. When did we adopt the Americanism hashtag instead of no dot for number? So the abbreviation no dot for number. When did that happen?
I probably think mobile phones. So what, late 90s? Like once they got into popular, I know they came out earlier than that. I probably had my first phone in about 96 or something, but it was like a fucking brick. Like it was one of them you didn't want to carry about. I think my dad got a phone for his work or something, and part of the deal was we'll give you a second one for free. But it was fucking enormous, and I didn't know what to take. I didn't want to show anybody I had it because it was like this big fucking thing. But even then, even the original phones, like Nokia's and all that, the wee ones that were all the craze at the time, the 310s and that. I might even go early 2000s, because it was more when you were sending, when texts and that became merry, I think. Because when you had your phone at first, it wasn't the big text, was it? It was about phoning folk. And
that's right, yeah. Text took a while to take off.
So probably early 2000s. And then it's overtaken it completely with folk on hashtag starving and stuff like that.
Yeah. Aye. So I'm trying to think like where I've seen normally like it's on folks' signatures on their emails or whatever. Most of the time I think they still use the no. Or just they'll have tell and then the number. But they didn't bother either way. The hashtag is like, say, social media is where you see that now for, and I didn't get hashtags now. Like we probably should put hashtags on our.
Well, we got told to, didn't we, by our social media expert employee that we've got on a retainer, and he told us to use loads of them, didn't he? And you done it for a wee while.
And I didn't notice any discernible difference. I think they're meant to help with the search engines and stuff like that.
Aye.
But I think if you didn't have the hashtag, the search engine still picks up the words. So,
but is that the same? So that's the hashtag thing. Is that for on Twitter? I think popularised it even more, and that's for like what's trending in that.
Aye. So you can pick it as a topic.
Because if you didn't put, I don't know, hashtag Murray v Djokovic, then it wouldn't pick it up. If you just wrote Murray v Djokovic at the end, randomly a tweet, it wouldn't count towards that trending figure.
Yeah,
Or would it?
I don't know, but I think you're along the right lines there. But then, like, we treat fucking shite. So, what hashtag am I going to do that's going to, like, that's going to trend, is it? Like,
yeah.
So, I don't know. If anybody's really, really fucking good at social media, get in touch with us. If he's want to help out of that, you're more than welcome to. Because we're pretty fucking amateur, but anyway.
And somebody that's only 21 years age, 21 years young.
If you're 21 years young or around that age and you know what you're doing with it, because I try different things now and again. I'll go, what if we do this and what if we do that? And sometimes it works, but then you do it again and it doesn't work. Now we've been having fun this week on the One Bangers account though with the Guess Who's with the AI drawings.
I mean, it would be fucking brilliant. And I apologise for any noise. My daughter decided to come in for some water because she's went to the gym. It was the noisiest bottle of water that's ever been filled up in the fucking history of bottles of water.
You had to get it in her finger.
I know the Doug's asking me to listen extra time for what we're talking about. And fucking Doug's will set off again now too because she's been in. It's fucking unreal. Just a bottle of fucking water. That's what it was. I'm like, can you hurry up with the tap? And then I'm hearing the banging in the dishwasher and everything. I'm like, fucking hell, it's just a bottle. Anyway.
You have a hot water tap in the bathroom. Sometimes it's kind of, you get high pitched noise. It must be like some air in the pipe or something.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was
any plumbers, texting 80295.
Yes, by the way, definitely a plumber. So yeah, if there are any plumbers wanting to be Homer.
Or a bathroom engineer or whatever they call themselves. Yes. That's what they've done, eh? It was too hard to qualify as a plumber. So they created like heating engineers and all that kind of stuff. Anybody
that kens what they're doing with pipes and water and that gives a shout. Anyway, this tap, I figured that you can change the tone on the pitch. So I did a wee sort of, it's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind when I was washing my hands earlier on. Was
it anything? Did you create any new musical notes just as a wee throwback to a previous
episode? Do you know what? I might have done, but I never recorded it for posterity. So I'll try it again later. It doesn't do it every time you wash your hands, so.
I asked my daughter, my oldest, about that, and she was decent in music. She passed a higher and all that, an A for a higher in music. And I said to her, just sometimes drop a wee short bangers question in. And I says, why did they stop at G in the musical notes? Like, why did they know 3 and H and an I and a J, etc., etc.? She looked at me as if I was fucking stupid. She was like, what are you talking about? She couldn't quite get it. She was like, are you fucking kidding? She's like, well, what is shite? Like, why are you even asking this? Like, what age are you? How many years younger are you? Sort of she was saying,
But could she answer it though? Or was it, because that sounds to me like they're deflecting and going, I can't answer it, so I'm going to make it, you're the fucking idiot. I get that a lot in my life.
Yes, she tried to answer it, and she was saying, but you've got your sharps and your sharp version and your flats version and all that, so that is your different notes. So just, and then she started describing it versus like the piano and the white bit and the black bit and all that, and I'm like, nah. Why couldn't we just?
Is it just that there are no keys in the piano then? Like if they made bigger pianos, you could add more notes.
But then look, I was watching. What was I watching? Oh, it was Noel Gallagher and Jules Holland at the weekend there, and there's a boy sitting with. It was like even fucking back in the old days with Erasure and all that. They had like 3 keyboards, one over that. Right, and this boy had 2 pretty big organs or pianos or whatever.
Yep.
And you go, he's just trying to notes, but surely it's the same notes that are on both. So why does he need 2?
They make different. One will go wow, 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 and another one will go ding.
That's a keyboard though. That's an actual keyboard. These were proper like organs or pianos. A keyboard you could have one on making funny noises with, and one with a piano just makes the same fucking noise, whatever. Right? And you think about how wide a piano is.
Yeah.
Right? There must be more than 26 keys. But there's only like A, B, C, D, E, F, and G.
Yeah.
So it's just repeating it in a lower or a higher tone. But why did they not call the lower one H? And then the next lowest one fucking K, like, and then P, and then and so on.
Aye. Well, it definitely would make it easier to follow it, because you would know. That's where that one is. Why do pianos have an accelerator and a brake on them in the middle as well? I've never
It's
understood.
automatic, eh?
Aye, I've never
Any
understood
clutch.
what that's about.
I never did though, because it could have
Ah.
had the clutch. That must be to do with the tone as well, eh? I'd
Aye,
love to be able to play the piano or something.
aye,
I'd love
it
to be
would
able
be
to do
good.
it. I'm making light of it here, but I'd love to be able to play an instrument properly, like the piano or a guitar or the drums.
There was back in the day, my old flatmate, he used to go out with a girl who stayed up in Morningside, and we would go up to their flat. And there was one day we'd come up, it was like a Sunday morning, and the flat opposite them with a piano, and the person was playing, it was just like one of the Britpop songs. It was fucking magic, though. Kind of went up, I was like, that sounds like they're playing it. And the first one was like end of the century, blah.
Mm.
And then when you recognise it and you go, oh yeah, fucker, that's good.
It'd be magic to be able to just sit down and do it.
Aye, they rattled off loads of them. And I was like, that's superb. It's like when you see the ones in the train stations and you kind of just sit down and then just start banging out like the dance hits and everything.
Aye.
Superb.
It's always just a wee cunt, eh? Who does it?
Aye, because they try to catch people out. If they sat down and looked like a piano player, everybody would be impressed. But they sit down and it's like that, never judge a book by its cover sort of thing, isn't it? Where everybody goes, oh, this is going to be shite, and then all of a sudden they kind of crack the knuckles in. It's like fucking boom, bit of back. Straight into the Chemical Brothers. Aye. And everybody loses their shit about it, films it, and it goes viral. And I'd like to be able to do that. No, they're going viral, but just to go and play the piano and bash out fucking good tunes on it.
Yeah.
You watched the Elton John film?
No.
Because we'll come on to the next questions about Glastonbury, right? Elton John, and I don't know how true this is, but could play the piano just by ear, so I could hear something. He goes into in the film, he goes into like a college, like a music college, and he's wanting to learn. And she plays, I can't remember the name of the song, but there's got like a bit of classical music on, and she stops it, and he just goes and plays the bit. She says, "Can you play it all?" He says, "I've not heard it all." And she's like, "Fucking hell, you just heard that now," and he played it.
I believe that. I believe that.
Aye.
Yeah, like a proper musician like that. I'm sure Jules Holland and that can do shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, and what's the boy with the Jamie Cullen? Is it Cullen? That's his like expertise. I'm sure they can. I've seen bits and bobs of stuff like Jules Holland, somebody coming on the show, and he'll just go and fucking join in. You know, on the piano and that. It's brilliant to be able to do something like that.
Aye.
Such a party trick. Better just like being able to down a pint or something. Eh?
Okay, but I can
What's your party trick? You got a piano?
Aye.
Keyboard all day then.
Just play something and I'll play along the round. I used to know so when I had my band, this is like where I struggled with fucking music and stuff like that. You get lyrics written down and they play the tune. And I go, how do you care how the lyrics go? Like, you need to tell me. Like, I couldn't get my head around somebody could just get, here's the lyrics, and that's like the noise that the guitars are making. Sing along with that. Because when you try to, like, see when you listen to a song, a lot of the time they didn't just follow the same.
No.
Noise.
I was saying about that. I was at a wedding a couple of weekends ago. Now, this is a church thing, eh? But you go in there and they've got their chants in the church, and it always feels like everything's the same fucking tune.
Aye.
And then you're looking at the words on the page that they give you, and you're listening to folks singing it, and you're thinking, how did they again to like squeeze that in and go faster at that bit or slower at that bit? Because it doesn't tell you to go fast, go slower in.
That's exactly what I'm meaning. Yeah.
And they're just squeezing it in to the same tune, every word, every one of it.
Because they cut an organ just before they start. They go like 4 or 5 notes, like just like the end of the first verse will go, and everyone goes, "Oh, I ken this one," and they go to the beat, and they go in, and you're standing going, "I didn't ken this one. How the fuck am I to sing it?"
It's that you could, as you see, you could sing along to it. I've never sang of mind, but I've even given up on that now and just thought, come on, I don't even believe in any of this stuff, so I'm not even going to fucking mime it. I'm just here because you made me come to this party. I'm happy just to see you at the hotel for the food and that. But you're there and you're thinking, well, pretend to sing along and or stand here and read it, but you're listening to everybody else singing. You go, what's the clue for you to go at the end? Like, how did you know to do that bit? Because the rest of it isn't leading up to that in any way. There's no clues. I didn't understand it.
We're maybe missing a trick here. There's maybe something dead obvious with it. We're just oblivious to that everybody else kens. But I'm glad
you may be looking at the organist or something and going, he puts a hand up to say, "This is a fast bit."
Here we go. I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I was like. I couldn't get my head around. My mate Richard would go, like, "Here's the song." I go, "What am I meant to do with that?" Like, you sing it first. And if I hear you sing it, I could copy you. I'll care after that.
Jump.
Aye, but that's fine because you can copy what you've heard when you're singing. That's easier. We couldn't play it on a piano or a guitar or that, but
it's even like have you ever done karaoke? I've never done it properly outside, but we had a karaoke hang in the house at one point, maybe during lockdown, I can't remember. And you know the songs because you pick it for a reason, but then your words come up on the screen, and then obviously it colours in at the bit, and you're like, "Oh, fuck it, it's meant to go." I forgot about that bit. It's harder to do it that way than it is to memory.
Oh,
like to read it off the screen, even though it's got the words there. Like if it was an Oasis song, I know most of the words to most Oasis songs, certainly the early ones, right? But if they put the words on the screen, I'd be gone. It would make me double check, double think.
Aye, and sometimes because it colours in half the word. So like if it's
because that's when you make. That's what I mean. That's where
and you're like you can how it sounds. Here's Morgan was giving Elton John a hard time for using an auto cue, Glastonbury. I go, fucking hell. Like Elton John's what, 73?
He uses one every fucking time he's in the telly.
Aye. Fucking mental, eh?
I've seen nowadays. He's just reading off the fucking newspapers.
Aye.
Why is he needing an auto cue?
Right. Lex Lofer. Question is topics Glastonbury. Why the fuck do folk record shaky, shoddy footage on their phones that they will never ever watch again when every fucking performance is being recorded professionally by TV stations?
I do not know. I do not fucking know. We're going to sound like we're really old here or 45 years young or whatever we are, like, because I didn't understand that. It doesn't sound as good, doesn't look as good.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, you never watch it back. Like I was at Proclaimers a couple of weekends ago, or whenever it was, middle of June, and I recorded one because my mum likes that the Edinburgh song, is it called? Mm-hmm. I can't remember what it's called. It's about Edinburgh, Streets of Edinburgh or something. So I recorded that for her, start to end, and it actually came out all right, and I sent her it. But Sunshine and Leith and that came on, and I thought about recording it, and I thought, come on, there'll be fucking hundreds of cunts recording this. I just want to enjoy it.
Aye, that's what I'm like with stuff.
You know what I mean? I want to
enjoy it.
Actually sing along to it, fucking listen to them singing it. You know what I mean? Because especially where it was and all of that, you know what I mean? It was a class version. I'm sure he wiped a wee tear for his eye at the end of it and that. But why would you want to be watching it through your phone?
Aye. I know you spot on, and especially something like Glastonbury, but it is all recorded and
Night player. Oh yeah, you can watch it. Hug me, come in, record it. They'll be on a fucking telly. It'll be on all night for 2 a.m. after Jules finishes.
The sound's good, the view's good, and everything. Maybe like I can understand taking photos because you might want to kind of flick through the photos and that, but the video.
Yeah.
The only time I can really sort of remember going back to a bit of video for a gig or a concert was I spoke about it before when we saw James at the Big Stooshy, that sort of ill-fated Fife festival that we sort of volunteered for Help for Heroes when I was with HSBC, and we were watching James, and it was dead. There was like hardly anybody there. It's fucking brilliant, right?
No.
You could stand at the front of the group getting
bumped.
And
who's everybody else?
They just marketed badly, didn't they? It was mad. So we'd volunteered, and my job was to steward the campsite. So we got there on the Sunday. We arrived. James were doing the sound check as we arrived. So that was good. I got to hear that. Went to the campsite. There was maybe 16 tents in the campsite.
Right.
I'd been there for the day before. I was speaking about this on Twitter the other day. There was a big tall cunt came over and was chatting away. He was from Motley Hoople. You heard of them? For like a band for like the 60s, like 70s.
I think so. Aye, it rings a bell.
I didn't ken it was him. It was him and another few guys. And when they went away, somebody went, "Do you ken who that is?" I was like, "Nah." And he said, "It's his boyfriend, Motley Hoople." I was like, "Ah, interesting." Anyway, we finished the shift, went in. They had the shows came when you go to Tea in the Park and they got the big wheel and everything. So they had the shows there that had taken £6 all day. That's what the woman says. It's just fucking waste of time coming. £6 have taken all day. That's how quiet it was. So we got a pint and our
Was nobody was at the thing then? It wasn't that nobody went to watch games. It was that nobody went to the actual event.
Aye. It was just like really poorly advertised or something. So when we went to see James, we were like kind of right at the front. There's a handful of folk, more than a handful, right? But no many. And they sang "She's the Star," which has got like a really sort of high pitched bit in it, right? Which I can't do. But my mate Stevie's singing along, and it kind of like I'm filming it, and I just sort of turn around as it gets to the chorus, and he just looks out and he's like "Star" like this, right? And it's just that one bit which is really fucking funny. That's the only bit gig footage that I've recorded that I've ever watched more than 4 or 5 times.
I think it's just, and it was funny because I was watching something the other night. Me and my wife watched the George Michael thing that was on BBC a couple of weekends ago. George Michael at the BBC or something it was called, and they had like wee clips of getting interviews, but then like certain songs in that they had done at times, and there was one he done one at Wembley Stadium, and they showed you it. And I said to her, look at that, like the crowds aren't like that anymore. Like, and I know it's not looking back. It's not, and I know people sell at stadiums like Wembley now, but it doesn't look how it used to look because one, it's a different stadium, but two, that everybody's on the pitch, and the pitch to where the seats start, there's no as big a gap. Then they've not got all the fucking really expensive seats round the stage. Like my daughter went to Harry Styles at Murrayfield and paid fucking, I don't know, 150 quid or something, a ticket or whatever it was.
Yep.
And she was basically fucking touching distance to him. But you didn't get that with a normal ticket anymore. Whereas in the old days, you could just pile in the front. And Nacon's got their camera out. Like, because now it's like all the fucking, you just see folk with lights and like all that. And it's like, folk used to, it appeared there was less health and safety, I guess, because it looks like there's more folk in the stadium watching it in the first place. But it looks like folk are enjoying it more now then than they do now.
Yeah.
Because they're paying less money to get in. One, it's packed, and the crowds are like swaying in that. If you ever see, that was ones at Wembley. It was like he was playing with Queen, I think. It was like an AIDS charity thing, and he was singing. He was doing the Freddie Mercury bit because it was about a year after he died or something. And then, but I've also seen, if you ever see the clips or the video of Oasis doing Main Road back in the day in the late 90s, it's fucking, I'm sure they had to stop because the barriers pushed in at the front and they were like, fucking stop it, get behind the barriers. It was like, that doesn't happen anymore, eh? It's like, because everybody doing the fronts on their fucking camera, taking photos and try that selfie with fucking Noel over their shoulder and that, rather than actually just fucking enjoying themselves and pushing every cunt of the road.
Aye. Right, that's us out of time. Thanks for sending your questions in, folks. We will be back on Tuesday morning with this Tuesday morning. Yep, with the next episode. We will see you then.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink